All right, good morning. It is Hump Day, Wednesday, and also it's a sunny McHappy Day. No more spicy habanero, no more spicy canelo. We got a lot to cover today, so I'm going to get right into it, and I guess I should start off by a little bit of house cleaning. So yesterday and the last couple days I've been putting out a little digital short, so to speak. Usually it's either a small rant, sometimes it'll be a story. And yesterday I went to town trying to be a little bit funny, angry, funny, spicy, funny with Daryl Cates. Not unlike thousands of Twitter followers who haven't seen him in a while and just are frustrated by the joke of the Oilers. However, Mr. Cates, I owe you an apology. I made fun of your attempt at changing your facial features when in fact you didn't have a choice. And the gentleman is going through a lot. He's got a 50-50 survival chance. The prognosis is looking much better now, but he's got a sinus infection that's required him to have surgery. So I wish I could have taken that back. I can't take it back. However, this is one of the reasons why when I first put Driving with Gingers on YouTube, it's exclusive to maybe 6-7 guys. And the reason for that is for this very reason. I may say something that would catch wildfire and damage a reputation, hurt somebody else by merely just trying to be entertaining. And the other reason why I put it to private is because you got to get your reps in. If you're going to do this, or you want to do it, or if I'm going to do this, you got to get your reps in. And sometimes when you get your reps in, you're going to miss some shots. And yesterday on the digital short, I missed a shot. I own it. And that's one of the reasons why I'm protecting the DWG to a small clan until I get more reps and get this thing polished up. And that's that. Don't always post. I probably won't post for the rest of the week. I probably won't post on Thursday or Friday. So I'll throw one out today. I might throw a digital short out, but there's really no rules when it comes to posting right now. And the feedback is great because I got some really great feedback every once in a while. I think you guys all know that I can take a ribbing, I can take a good criticism, I can take all that sort of stuff. And I also went to town yesterday on Charlie McAvoy, partially because he's just a guy I don't like. He's actually a really good hockey player. And so factually, I said he was underrated. He really isn't underrated. And I think that really came from just me being frustrated. But because of all that, and because of all the great feedback from my fans, it spurned on an idea. In the summertime, when there's not a lot of hockey to talk about, and it's the dog days of summer, which is baseball, I'm going to come out with some lists. I'm going to come out with my top 10 most overrated, my top 10 most underrated, my top 10 favorite players in the league, my top 10 least favorite players in the league. I might go my top 10 teams to look out for next year in the NHL. So all kinds of things spurred on from some great online feedback, and I appreciate it all, and that's why I'm doing this, and I'm also doing it right now because I'm super busy at work. It's super busy at home at all times, but when you're trying to be semi-single father, I guess, like a super dad maybe, and then run a restaurant, which is really like having a kid in its own. And when your business is up 10%, you shouldn't be complaining. And so I'm going to try to complain less. I think that's something I need to focus on. And that's kind of why DWG is a bit of a vice for me too. So I can get it off my chest because I just don't have enough time to work out. And that's one of the reasons I can keep the edge off, is if I can get a good run in or throw some weights around. And I just simply haven't had the opportunity because I've just been so busy, and I haven't had a chance to really get together with some of the boys and have some pops, and hopefully I can have that in a couple weeks to take off some edge. But I need these things to balance life, and that's what life is all about. Life is about balance. You can work hard, you can have success, but you need to be able to spend time with your family, you need to be able to spend time with your friends, you need to be able to spend some time on yourself, and that whole balance in life is key. And sometimes things get a little off keel. Sometimes maybe you party a little bit too much and you got to pull her back and you're on the wagon. Sometimes you're working a little bit too much. Sometimes you're maybe not spending enough time with the family. Sometimes maybe the kids are just dragging you and putting you 6 feet under, and you got to get out. You got to get out a little bit. So it's all about balance, and this is kind of like my little short balance in life. So that's the house cleaning I want to get done today. A little bit about last night. I watched the Raptors last night. That was the Raptors team that I thought was the Raptors team I thought they were. To steal a quote from Mr. Green in his Arizona Cardinal days. The Raptors played really well last night. Kawhi Leonard didn't have to be LeBron James last night. In fact, Kawhi Leonard didn't even have to be anybody last night. He could have. I don't even know if he had 30 points. I don't think he did. A couple shutouts. Siakam is an absolute beast. He was unbelievable last night. Ibaka in the first quarter was making shots. That's a huge factor. When these guys, I said, all they needed to do is make shots. When they make shots, it really makes it difficult for Philly because they have to pick and choose who they're going to double team. Ibaka or in terms of bigs because they're long and stretched. Or Siakam or Leonard. Usually it's Siakam or Leonard that they're going to double team, and that opens up a free guy. And if that guy's making shots, it makes it really hard for Philly, and that's what we saw last night. Lowry made a couple of great shots. He finally hit a three. He actually got a 4-point play on it. Fred VanVleet is still really struggling with the length of Philly, but he was able to put some productive minutes last night simply because he was committed to playing defense, and he had a couple great steals and takeaways. And he's just working. He's a little junkyard dog, and he put in some valuable minutes for a team that has been shortening that bench. They really needed those minutes from VanVleet last night. So that was great to see. And then, of course, it's always awesome when you can pull the guys off with 5 minutes left, up by 25, and get them the last 5-minute break, and you don't go into the next game with an extra bump or bruise or a twisted heel on a stupid play with 2 minutes to go. So that sets up Thursday night, Raptors and Sixers. I'm going to be pumped for this game. Looking forward to the Raptors. Hopefully they can go into Philly, win a game, and be on their way, because tonight, Boston-Milwaukee go, I would expect back in Milwaukee for Game 5. It's Fear the Deer night, and I think they're going to run roughshod over Boston. Boston has got a great team. They got some guys that aren't going to lay down, but I don't know if they have the answers at this point. They lost both their games on home court in Boston, and if you do that, you're in trouble, and they're in trouble, and I just can't see them pulling it out right now, even though I called for them. Now, in hockey, we had a Game 7 last night, and what a Game 7 it was. I turned it over in the third period, and I'm like, geez, I should have turned this over in the second, because that was a hell of a hockey game. Watch the third period, unbelievable hockey. Nothing better than that. I know I've been ragging on the second round, but if it's really good hockey like that, I will eat my words, because I'm telling you what, that was an excellent third period. The first overtime was a little more reserved, but it was still pretty good. And I was fading fast, but I was able to see the overtime goal. Rob Thomas, ex-Hamilton Bulldog, and I think it was an ex-London Knight as well. I think he played for London Knights, and he got traded at the trade deadline last year. But anyways, he won an OHL title with the Hamilton Bulldogs last year. Great kid. I had a chance to meet him. He makes these unbelievable moves down low, below the hash marks, takes it to the net, and then the hometown kid, Patrick Maroon, former Philadelphia Flyer, Anaheim Mighty Duck. There's your Pierre Maguire stat for the day. From St. Louis, hometown kid, scores the goal. Unbelievable. And, of course, is Patrick Maroon bet on himself this year He took a 1-year deal. He didn't get as much as he thought he would get, but he wanted to play for his hometown because he'd grown up watching the St. Louis Blues, and he also has a son with his ex-girlfriend, I believe it is. He's not married, and they live in St. Louis. And the kid's bawling his eyes out because his dad scored the goal. The dad's bawling his eyes out because he just lived a childhood dream. I love stories like that. It's unbelievable. St. Louis, I had them winning. They pulled it out barely. I thought, the closer this game is, the better it is for Dallas. Bishop played unbelievable. St. Louis was all over the Dallas Stars. I couldn't believe how well he played and how one-sided that game was at times. But St. Louis moves on. And we got another Game 7 tonight, and the winner tonight's going to play St. Louis. We've got an excellent game tonight. San Jose, Colorado. I don't know what's going to happen here because we got some game breakers on Colorado's side, and we have some game breakers like Couture, London area boy on the other side. I don't know what to expect. I'm kind of rooting for San Jose because of Jumbo. And I just don't know. I don't know. This afternoon in my digital short, maybe I'll get to why Joe Thornton is called Jumbo. I'm not sure if you guys know why he's called Jumbo, so I'll get into that. But some awesome games, and then the late game, I was dead tired, so I didn't get a chance to see Denver Nuggets beat the Portland Trailblazers. I'm cheering for Portland. It's a great city. I want to go there someday, and I'm a big Damian Lillard fan. But Murray, who's a Canadian, plays for Denver, and they seem to be going, and Jokic and all those guys are playing well. So they waxed him. Maybe that was the swing that Denver needed. And so if Milwaukee wins tomorrow or tonight, Raptors win tomorrow, and the Nuggets win, and then Golden State wins, we're going to see the 1-2 seeds in the East and the West of the NBA. And we got some, like I said, I'm not super excited about Boston, Carolina, but having an original 6 team in the final would be good. And if they rolled, I think it helps some of those teams that lost earlier on know that they're kind of on the right track, especially if they outplayed Boston in the first round, with the exception of specialty teams. So I'm not bitter about that at all. And one last quick note today. Today, Wednesday, May the 8th, is McHappy Day. And I'm not a huge McDonald's guy. I'm not a big McDonald's guy, but we got some buddies who have used the Ronald McDonald House in years past. I'm always about supporting the community and charities. I think it's great. I do love McDonald's coffee. I think McDonald's coffee is way better than Tim Hortons coffee, so I will get one today. I might pick up a couple Happy Meals, and who knows, maybe I'll grab a Big Mac. I don't have that many Big Macs. I think I've had 2 in my entire life, and both of them, ironically, have been with a buddy. Mr. Patrick Romano bought my very first Big Mac about 15 years ago, and then about 5 or 6 years ago, he bought me my second Big Mac. I've only ever had 2 Big Macs, and they've only been with Mr. Romano. So get your Big Mac, get your Happy Meals or your coffee today. Support McHappy Day, great cause, and have yourselves a wonderful day. Canelo Bellows, Shelly Bellows, Big Red, Ginger Bellows, whatever the fuck you want to call me, is telling you to go kick some ass and have a great fucking day.